In Bremerhaven, Germany, there is a place where drivers can safely leave their keys inside their cars. They do this every single day, and not just in one or two vehicles. In almost 100,000 cars, the keys to the ignition always remain inside. For these are brand new vehicles en route to customers all around the world. Awaiting shipping here at the Bremerhaven AutoTerminal, they form the biggest car park in Europe. So big, it's visible from space. At the Bremerhaven AutoTerminal, it's 6 a.m. and the logistics team are meeting to prepare for the day ahead. Supervisor Hans-Joachim Doyle warns the drivers on the early shift that the incoming car ferry is particularly packed today.
Da sind da höchstens 3-4 Zentimeter zwischen den Fahrzeugen Platz. Da müssen wir gewaltig aufpassen, dass die Fahrer nicht zu sehr einschlagen. Ne?
This morning, a total of 355 brand new vehicles have to be unloaded by the drivers. Dmitry Leis has the role of taxi driver. He takes the drivers to the ferry.
Normalerweise ist es hier 30.
Having only worked here for 6 months, Dmitry is still struggling with the vast size and variety of the AutoTerminal.
Also die erste, sage ich mal so, Wochen war ein bisschen schwierig, weil Fläche ist zu groß und so viele verschiedene Autos, muss man alles merken. Und muss ich ehrlich sagen, davor, bevor ich hier angefangen bin, habe ich nicht mal Automatik gefahren draußen. Und hier sind, sagen wir mal so 70-60% von Fahrzeugen sind alle Automatik. Das war ein bisschen schwierig.
The Weser estuary on the German side of the North Sea is the single most important site for trading cars worldwide. It is home to Bremerhaven, an awe-inspiring vehicle-loading port that processes 2.3 million vehicles each year, including all automobiles produced in Germany for export. But it's not just German cars. Vehicles from Asia and America are also processed here. This morning, the car ferry has docked early. New pickup trucks from a factory in Thailand have to be safely driven off the ferry. And with each vehicle costing up to 40,000 euros, it's a daunting task for the responsible drivers. Dmitry chauffeurs 5 drivers into the ship, where they get off and into the pickup trucks. The drivers have to bring out every single vehicle, roll on, roll off. The most difficult task is to find the vehicle's designated parking spot. And with 95,000 parking spaces available, it's a challenge not for the faint of heart, nor for those who struggle remembering where they parked at the supermarket. The Bremerhaven AutoTerminal also features a body shop, and it's here, not the factory where the cars are made, where many vehicle customizations take place. René Brechlin is an auto body painter, responsible for giving cars bespoke paint jobs. For this Japanese model, the customer has ordered a special scratch protection finish. This custom paint job is done here in Germany, and not at the factory, for several reasons.
Vom Qualitätsmanagement her sind wir recht gut, wenn nicht sogar fast unantastbar.
German craftsmanship, renowned and trusted by car manufacturers all around the world.
Man muss halt ein bisschen auf seinen körperlichen Schutz auch achten mit Atemschutz und Anzug, weil es gesundheitlich auch ein bisschen belastend ist. Kann ja mal was schief laufen bei der Beschichtung. Wenn ich jetzt eine zu hohe Luftfeuchtigkeit habe oder so, dann fängt dieses Material auch auf zu schäumen an. Dann sollte man das vielleicht wenn es frisch ist, noch runterholen. Na, jetzt mal 2, 3, 4 Stunden länger oder auch mal bis in die Nacht rein.
The Bremerhaven Technical Centre is the largest automobile workshop in Europe. We'll hear more about the global economic consequences of customizing cars here in Germany later in the programme. But first, back to the drivers. With the team he taxied to the ship now parking pickup trucks in their designated spaces, Dimitri must follow behind in support. Eventually, he finds the drivers again, in the northern section of the car park. With the first load of vehicles safely parked, Dimitri must taxi the drivers back to the ship, for there are plenty more vehicles needing unloading. Today, Dimitri can only watch from the taxi as the rest of the team drive the new cars. In due course, however, he'll be promoted. It's something he's looking forward to.
Ich bin mehr für Mercedes, weiß ich nicht. Also Mercedes, BMW, also die mag ich. Porsche, geländemäßig ja, also so wie Cayenne, Panamera, also was mehr Platz bietet, sag ich mal so, aber flache Fahrzeuge, das ist nicht für mich. Ich bin 1,90 Meter und einsteigen, aussteigen, das ist ein bisschen schwierig.
Bremerhaven also hosts an undercover garage, built to safely house the AutoTerminal's most expensive cars while they're in transport. With Porsches as far as the eye can see, it's a sight to behold for lovers of high-end cars. Luxury cars on 3,500 parking spaces. Just today, there's nearly 300 million euros worth of high-end automobiles parked in this garage. And with new cars arriving every few days, this site sees billions of euros of cars pass through every year. René has finished spraying the custom paint finish on the pickup truck. Now it must dry outside. But with another 16 vehicles to paint today, work is far from over for René and his team. Covering a staggering 240 hectares, the Bremerhaven AutoTerminal is one of the largest automotive hubs in the world. With nearly every inch taken up with automobiles, the logistics team here know the international car market as well as any dealer in the world.
Schon ein Unterschied im Gegensatz zum normalen Straßenverkehr bzw. Autohaus oder Großstädten, wenn hier so 5.000 bis 10.000 Autos stehen. Das ist enorm, so die Menge, die da in so einem Schiff drin ist, kann man sich eigentlich gar nicht vorstellen. Man sieht immer wieder ein neues Modell, bevor es überhaupt so im Straßenverkehr zu sehen ist. Wenn jetzt mal ein ordentliches Auto bei ist, wie so ein Mustang, GTO oder sowas, dann machen wir auch schon mal ein Bildchen, wird schon mal rumgezeigt. Aber ansonsten macht man das eigentlich eher selten, weil dadurch, dass man öfter hier ist, kennt man und sieht man das halt. Ist es normal, wird es zum Alltag.
Whilst Bremerhaven's scale becomes normal for those working here, for outsiders, the reality of operations is eye-watering. If you count up all the cars that arrive here and are transported onwards, it adds up to 2.3 million units per year. In recent years, a lack of space has seen Bremerhaven grow skywards. In this building, 8 levels all full of vehicles on every floor. Despite the extra room, most parking spaces at Bremerhaven are occupied as soon as they become available. And it's not just cars that are processed here. Trucks, vans, and vehicles of all sorts pass through here daily. These construction vehicles are currently being loaded onto a ship for export around the world. For the drivers, the afternoon shift has begun. Cars are still being driven out of 2 deep-sea carriers. The teams unload and load 4 large ships of vehicles every day. As soon as a vehicle is safely off the ship, the driver must collect a parking ticket so that each car can be found again in the sea of parked cars.
Da hat man dann die Fahrgestellnummer, da ist der Barcode, das Schiff, den Hersteller, das Modell. Farbe ist eigentlich nicht ganz so wichtig. Und danach eben halt, was wirklich sehr, sehr wichtig ist, ist der Stellplatz.
Given the immense logistical challenge of parking cars at Bremerhaven, the team have divided up the entire car park into more manageable blocks. Each block contains parking lanes, identifiable by letters and numbers, to make finding the right space easier. Well, that's the theory at least. In reality, given the thousands of cars and vehicles that pass through here every day, mistakes inevitably happen.
Ja, das passiert. Das passiert schon, ja. Das kommt schon öfter mal vor, ja. Weil sie dann einfach irgendwo hinfahren und einfach... Ist einfach menschlich oder vertun sich in der Reihe, die wir gar nicht haben.
A parking ticket, but one you don't mind getting, for it tells the drivers exactly where to go and is an integral part in a complex logistical operation. The overseas port at Bremerhaven was originally a transshipment point for iron ore. This orange bridge and the railway tracks beneath bear witness to the site's industrial past. Where iron ore was once mined, sheet metal is now transported. The last train transporting iron ore left the port in 1993, and in 1995 the first car ship docked here. It marked the beginning of Bremerhaven's transformation into the world's #1 car transshipment point. But what triggered the port's radical change from dealing in iron ore to automobiles? In the 1970s, Japan started exporting cars on a massive scale. The Japanese manufacturers were looking for space, well located on international trade routes, and companies they could trust to oversee shipping. The Bremen Logistics Company fitted the bill. It had been trading here successfully since 1877. For residents who live in the surrounding area, a local population of nearly 113,000 people, the car terminal arrived at just the right time. During the 1990s, an economic crisis had caused the local fishing and shipyard industries to collapse. 1 in 5 people were unemployed. Fortunately, new jobs at the car terminal saved the day. Now, everything here depends on the car industry. As the Bremerhaven AutoTerminal expanded, so too did the range of jobs. At this workshop, employees help ensure cars are in perfect order. They remove the transport foils, wash the new arrivals, and give them a final polish before the cars are sent out to customers. What if a car has been damaged during transport? The people in this room discover every dent and every scratch. Here, an inspector spots something on the rear spoiler, adhesive residue from the transport protection film. Fortunately, it can be easily rubbed off.
Früher wurden die Fahrzeuge mit Paraffin geschützt, das war dann der Transportschutz. Aber Paraffin ist generell auch aus umwelttechnischen Gründen vom Markt für solche Zwecke verschwunden und wird auch generell weltweit nicht mehr akzeptiert. Also die Fahrzeuge, wenn jetzt hier ein paraffingeschütztes Fahrzeug wäre, in die USA oder nach Kanada könnten wir das gar nicht ausführen. Das würde gar nicht gehen.
In this next stage of the inspection, the technicians check whether a vehicle has any serious damage. While all vehicles here are brand new, sometimes things do go wrong during transport. Like here, an almost invisible dent in the roof.
Wir suchen auf Kleinfehler, Garantiefehler, auf Werk, Schleifstelle, Lackanschluss und solche Sachen und alles, was unterwegs passiert kann. So Transportschäden, so kleine Dellen, Kratzer und dann schicken wir die Autos zur Reparatur.
On average, only 2% of cars arrive damaged. The remaining 98% must be finished off with exacting detail and care. Here, this team is inserting operating manuals and service booklets into the cars in their respective national languages. For efficiency's sake, all of these finishing details are done here in Bremerhaven, and not when the new car rolls off the production line in its country of origin. Such logistical considerations speed up production in the factory and allow customers to get their cars as soon as possible. But what will happen to Bremerhaven if the German car industry falters? Following the diesel emissions scandal, numerous German car manufacturers are already facing cripplingly high legal costs. Coupled with environmental concerns, developments in electronic transport, and shifting market trends around the world, the future of German car manufacturing is far from guaranteed. Given the excellent reputation of German automobiles, it's curious that Germany now imports German cars from abroad. The reason is simple. Even for German brands, it's cheaper to manufacture cars overseas. At Bremerhaven's car terminal, car ships dock and depart 24 hours a day. Tides don't play a role. Bremerhaven is a tide-independent port. Ships arrive, ships leave. Lorries arrive, lorries leave. Day in, day out. Bremerhaven's ports and logistics centres are a hive of activity around the clock. Here, a new car ship is docking, while another one, fully loaded, sets sail. The finely tuned logistical operation must start all over again. Unloading and reloading a single multi-storey ocean-going car carrier can take up to a whole day. And it's not uncommon for 2 ships to unload simultaneously. In busy times, up to 6 ships can unload at once. It means traffic can get congested. Where will all the cars go? At the moment, there's still enough space at Bremerhaven to accommodate every car on the current site. Over the past 3 years, car transport on the intercontinental shipping routes has been steady and stable. But that may change in the future. In the next 3 years, Chinese importers will be putting the European market under pressure. Since some of the vehicles will then be held in the Bremerhaven port for longer, the demand for space will probably increase. While car loading is in full swing at the terminal, mechanics in the workshop are readying a number of Japanese pickups, each with different special requests from customers. On this car, 2 mechanics have to replace several components at once, transforming it from a standard vehicle to a bespoke customization. This is the reality of how the global car industry ticks. Different wheels. That's what the customer wants. Driven for only 4 kilometers, the old wheels remain the property of the customer and will be delivered with the car. They're upgrading to a more expensive model, featuring wider tyres and different rims. Unusually, despite the never-ending repairs and adjustments, workers in this workshop never really get dirty.
Wenn ich auf meine Finger so gucke, dass die sauber sind, dann freut man sich schon, mit Neuwagen zu arbeiten. Aber irgendwie fehlt schon das alte ein bisschen dreckig machen, Ölwechsel. Aber wenn man sich dafür entschieden hat, dann soll man auch damit leben.
Here in Europe's largest workshop, 400 employees work to a tight schedule, fulfilling customers' special wishes.
Die Platte muss erstmal weg, weil da kriegt ihr einen neuen Kühlergrill.
Like all customizations, the upgraded radiator grille is fitted here in Germany and not in the original factory. This one is matte instead of chrome. The chrome has to go. Finally, to comply with the operating permit, Nico Luther sticks on a new serial number.
Das brauchen wir für die Eintragung, weil das ist ja nicht, das ist ein neues Teil und Zubehör und das muss dann beim TÜV eingetragen werden.
So, das ist auch eine schön versteckte Stelle, dass das trotzdem noch original so aussieht.
On this vehicle, the radiator emblem is also new. What will happen to the old chrome radiator grille?
Das Altteil wird in den Müll geschmissen und ja,
Wird einfach entsorgt.
wird entsorgt.
Wenn man das zurückschicken würde, wäre wahrscheinlich teurer, als wenn man das entsorgt.
Like many replaced parts, this grille, which has never been used, will end up in the scrap later on. Why does that happen?
Das hat ja irgendwo seinen Sinn. Den wissen wir zwar nicht, aber die Hersteller auf jeden Fall.
Production efficiency. It's the philosophy of the car industry. It has nothing to do with return shipping costs, but with assembly line speed.
Viele Kunden lieben eine Anhängerkupplung oder deutsche Kunden meine ich jetzt als Beispiel. Und in anderen Ländern ist es wieder unterschiedlich. Und die Konzerne fertigen eben für den Weltmarkt und die wollen eine hohe Stückzahl erreichen. Das müssen sie auch erreichen. Und wenn man das in dem Werk also individualisieren würde, dann würde auf jeden Fall das langsamer werden. Heißt also die Stückzahl kleiner und so gesehen ist es nicht das, was die großen Werke wollen. Also werden die Fahrzeuge hier individualisiert und alles das, was sich hier der Endkunde beim Händler im Zubehörkatalog aussuchen kann, ankreuzen kann, das wird uns elektronisch eingespielt und wird hier bei uns dann angebaut und konfektioniert.
Given all the customizations and finishing touches, it often takes a whole day before a newly assembled car is ready for its final journey to the dealership and to the customer. But there's one stage left. For the final leg of their journeys, most cars must be transported by road. And every day, more than 100 car transporter trucks leave Bremerhaven for good. A sea of cars on almost 100,000 parking spaces. This is global mobility and economics made visible. Permanently in operation, Bremerhaven never sleeps. This place leaves a footprint of humanity on the earth.